Hey guys, how you doing? Let's get right into it. So, this Heavy Metal Carnival, 2 guaranteed premiums, the rest of them are all tier 3s, I believe, which is really cool. I know some people have been going on about, there's no orbs again, there's no orbs. Yeah, that's true, there are no orbs, but it's still a pretty good sign of things to come. Basically, if you think about what's been happening in the game recently, 2 months ago, or not even 2 months ago, for the anniversary, was the first time we had a guaranteed premium pull every single time. And obviously since then, things have happened a lot, culminating in the last big banner that we had, which was not only 1 guaranteed premium every pull, but 1 guaranteed premium with orbs. That's really, really cool, and in fact, they were cheaper than usual as well. Now we've got 2 guaranteed premiums in the pool, right? That only took 2 months to get from that point to this point, so if we're going to keep going forward from here, if every banner is on this increasing level of, they may not be better every single time, but the mean level of goodness is continually increasing, then that's a pretty good thing. We could see, you know, a month and a half from now, a banner with 2 premiums and both of them have orbs. You know, that could be really, really cool. Let's talk about the actual contents of the banner itself. So, basically the World Ends With You medals are like almost nerfed versions of Illustrated Beauty and Beast. That's pretty cool. Aqua itself lowers all magic-based, all targets magic-based defense by 2 tiers for 2 turns, which is cool, but it's not amazing, and it's kind of, it's almost a little bit underpowered at this point. I think it's a little bit underpowered for where the game kind of is right now. It's an interesting one to be sure. I don't think I'm really that keen about Aqua. The art obviously looks pretty friggin' fantastic. And I know a couple of people in my Discord channel which will be pulling just for the sake of having an Aqua. But I'm kind of more excited about these 3 The World Ends With You medals, just because that utility of being able to have a buff plus a dispelling medal in one slot is really, really, really valuable. I know a lot of times in this game I've been going, basically since that Illustrated Beauty and Beast VIP medal came out, there are so many times when I thought, I really, really could use it right now. I could really use that extra strength right now. That's okay. Obviously the big downside to these is that the attack itself only lasts for, the effect of that buff only lasts for 3 turns, which is a downside, to be sure. That is a significant downside, but if you play around it, you could almost not notice the downside. If you really, okay, if you have the medals for it, you can try and play around it. Let's have a think. Okay. Let's ignore. All right. Okay. So say for example, I'm doing the Colosseum, right? Or I'm doing Proud Mode. I'm doing something where I'm only bringing 5 medals with me. That means that if none of the 2 final ones that I have extra attack, then I'm not really gonna miss the buff on the first 2 medals. Let's say I'm using my first 2 medals purely as buffers for myself. Purely as buffers for myself. Because again, for myself I mean the final medal. A lot of this game, all I've been doing in this game is buffing up that final medal, which has been Zigbar B a lot lately. It used to be Malusha B, but it's been Zigbar B a lot lately. Literally just buffing up that medal and then letting it go nuts. It's guilted, it's sitting in the most powerful slot. If I just let that baby go crazy, then, you know, I want to feed it all the buffs that I can. So, what if you use the first 2 slots as purely buffers for yourself, right? Then you pop at the World Ends With You medal in this 3rd slot here, let's say. Yeah, I haven't got that video out yet, I've been lazy this week. Let's say the World Ends With You medal sits in this 3rd slot here. Then it buffs itself, it buffs the medal after it, and it buffs the final medal. Now, if any of these 2 have extra attack, or if any of these 2 have extra attack, that's honestly not a good thing in this case, just because, well, you wouldn't see any benefit from it. You would see, you'd get the buff on it, the second attack, the first attack would go off, and then the second attack would go off, and then your buff would run out. So, you'd really have to play around that. You know, you could have this medal as a debuffer, for example, or you could have this medal as just a raw damage dealer. But if it has extra attack on it, obviously just be aware that you're going to waste your buff going through extra attack. If you can somehow get extra attack on your The World Ends With You medal, That could be kind of cool, but you'd pretty much have to have it immediately before your buffing medal. You'd effectively have to have it there, because it's going to use itself once. It's going to get out to +3, then it's going to fire off again, get up to +6 for one more attack. This would attack at +6, and then you'd effectively have, let's say you could use a friend medal. That friend medal would go off at +3. So, depending on the kind of content that you want to pass, like let's say Colosseum, if you're mainly a Colosseum player or a Proud Mode player for wherever it's appropriate, that could be a really good medal for that. But if you want to bring a friend medal with you, like if you're doing raids, it's really probably not a good medal for raiding. There is some content, like some hard to pass content, which it might be good for, but we haven't had any in a while, so it's hard to tell. You know, the Organization 13 event that just came out, the Lexaeus one, that was pretty difficult, and yeah, I could definitely see some usage going behind that medal. Having a The World Ends With You medal, that would have been quite helpful, to be honest, but it's up for debate whether it's going to be good or not, and time will tell, but I do want a copy. I'm probably not going to pull for it right now, and we'll sort of talk about why. So let's go straight to the store. Alright, I'm not going to do a YOLO pull in this video, definitely not, so don't get your hopes up for that. But I want to talk about, bam, these guys right here. So 0.2 Terra and Ventus. So just like the previous banner, the previous KHUx 7 banner, that had a set of conditions that could be fulfilled, and if you were able to fulfill them, you would get a copy of every single Organization 13 A medal, except for Shion for some reason. But regardless, you got 13 tier 3 medals with 5 dots each. Wasn't a bad incentive at all to guilt him. And all you needed to do was either have a guilted KHUx 6, which looks like this condition up the top here. A guilted KHUx 7 was the third condition, and having either KHUx 6 or KHUx 7 was the second condition, I believe. So basically, you have to pull from the banners and either you have to minimum get 2 banner medals, right? You either got 2 of the KHUx 7 banners and guilted them, you either got 2 of the KHUx 6 banners and guilted them, or you got 1 of each, basically, and you didn't have to have a guilted version at that point. So one would assume that there is another banner coming out, which is, okay, most likely going to be, spoilers I guess, it's most likely going to be 0.2 Mickey, and he would probably be in a banner released either what looks like on May the 30th or June the 2nd, and if you guilt him, you will get a second copy of this medal. Okay, so obviously, alright, you can get up to 3 copies of this medal, and you have to get all 3 copies if you want to guilt them, or of course you can use Mickey and Brooms. But if you want to have a guilted version of this medal with 2 trait slots filled, then you need to basically do all 3 of these conditions. Is this medal any good? Yeah, it's exactly like Abu and Aladdin that we just got, except it's tier 5 and it costs 2 gauges less to fire off. And it would likely have a much higher multiplier than Abu and Aladdin. Outside of that, it isn't incredible. If you had an extra attack version, I'm going to say that a lot. If you had an extra attack version of this medal, obviously it'd be quite good, because you'd be up to, in 1 medal slot, your power and speed-based strength would be up to +4 each. That's pretty freaking good. But outside of that, you know, I think almost everyone should have gotten an Abu and Aladdin. So it isn't incredible. It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good, and I would quite like to have one. But it isn't amazing. It's not amazing. So, alright, here I'm going to place on my Crazy Guy hat. It's going to be my little silver Crazy Guy hat. If you see me on my Discord channel, obligatory link description, you know the drill. If you see me on my Discord channel, I've been trying to figure out what these conditions could be, because logic says, okay, they're going to do what they did last time. It'll be 0.2 Mickey, and you have to guilt him. That's definitely a condition. And the third condition, it's probably either another banner or just to have 1 copy of each. Here's my problem with both of those. If it's to have 1 copy of each, then surely those announcement dates would be the same, right? Why would they bother having, like, May the 30th be one date, and then, 3 days later, on June the 2nd, oh, by the way, if you get 1 of each, then that's how you get the final 0.2 Terra and Ven. That doesn't really make sense to me, so that would lead me to believe, okay, it won't be for having one of each this time. Okay, so what could it be? Could it be a third banner? It could be a third banner, and a lot of people are banding around the idea that maybe it's going to be another 0.2 medal. It could be 0.2 Riku, or it could be 0.2 Kairi. I have a really... I got a big problem with both of those. It's way too early. It's way too early, just going chronologically wise, from when the medals were released in JP to when they're coming out here. I actually made up a little list of which ones I believe should be coming out next. So, from my understanding of the Japanese version, assuming we don't get high score challenge or event medals ending up in our pools, the next medal that should be coming out is obviously 0.2 Mickey, and spoilers for the next 15 medals, by the way. After 0.2 Mickey would be Keyart 8, then Cloud EX, so Cloud EX is very close. Dragon Maleficent, Terra Xehanort, Terra B, Vanitas SP version, which is a pretty cool medal, Axel EX, Wisdom Form Sora HD, Ventus HD, the SP Ansem, and then after that, 13 medals later, 0.2 Riku, then Sora EX, and then that's 14. 14 medals after Mickey, 0.2 Kairi. So I think we are really, really far away from 0.2 Kairi. And honestly, it seems way too early to bump her up. They could bump her up. Why could they bump her up? Okay. I've said this before in previous videos, but there is such a huge power gap right now between the people that are either very lucky or willing to pay for a +3 medal with extra attack. A +3 general strength medal with extra attack. It's not an unforgivably huge power gap, but it's a power gap all the same. If you can get up to +6 general attack in one medal slot, that is really, really, really powerful. That is extremely powerful. And it's worth paying for. People have done it. People have, when that illustrated KH1 Kairi banner came out, I can guarantee you a lot of people would have gone nuts on it to guarantee that they had a +6 medal. What am I saying? A +6... yeah, a medal capable of getting up to +6 general attack in one go. Because that's where the top of the power is right now. And if the people are paying to stay on top in this game, that's kind of what they have to do. They have to do that or else they'll fall behind. Lucky people could overtake people that spend money, and that's not what they want. They want to be on top no matter what. So, when you look at the rankings right now, all the people that are on top for like the high score challenge or like the likes rankings and all that good stuff, they've all got extra attack up on their buffers. So I could see that argument for them going, hey, okay, we'll release a 0.2 Kairi banner, and yeah, if you guilt her, then you could have this 0.2 Terra and Ven medal. But I mean, 0.2 Kairi, apart from the name, doesn't really fit in with these medals at all. Like 0.2 Aqua and 0.2 Mickey, obviously they were together in 0.2. Spoilers, they made up. All of these characters appeared in some form in Kingdom Hearts 0.2, whereas, again, spoilers for 0.2 if you haven't played it, but Kairi and Riku only show up. It's not really a flash forward because it's them flashing back to Aqua's time, but anyway, they only appear outside of Aqua's story, so it doesn't really make thematic sense for them to show up. Riku I could almost see an argument for because, and now we're getting into Kingdom Hearts 3 potential spoilers, but it's very heavily implied, well, it's confirmed basically, that Riku and Mickey are going to be heading off to look for Aqua, so those three kind of fit together better than Kairi does with Mickey and Aqua. The beep, someone's on the Discord now. But alright, here's the thing. This medal isn't that good. This 0.2 TMV medal, it's not that good. Like, it's not worth people going absolutely crazy and spending all their jewels for, right? Incentive medals in the past have been like our version of Keyart 1, which at the time was a huge game changer. I joined my previous party because someone was sharing a Keyart 7. It was like, holy crap, you can restore gauges. with a medal. You can restore 7 gauges with 1 medal. Amazing. That costs so much money to do that, by the way. You had to gilt 3 medals in a time where I think it was like a 10 pull mercy was the norm. So you had to gilt 3 medals if you wanted a gilted version of that medal. That was horrendous. That would have cost like literally $2,000 to have a gilted version of that medal. Anyway, I'm way off topic. This medal is not even close to that level of game changing. Not even close. Like, even if I got this, I would kind of struggle to find a place for it on my Keyblade, to be really frank. It's a really cool medal, don't get me wrong, but, well, sorry, I say that, and I have 0 good reverse speed, so it would be my best reverse speed upright speed medal. But it's certainly not incredible, right? So here's where this hat sits really firmly on my head. It's like glued on at this point. Alright. There is a precedent for giving out either medals or jewels, I believe, for progressing to a certain point in the story, right? I believe before the anniversary they said, okay, everyone gets X amount of jewels for beating Quest 200. Because at Quest 200 you got to gilt medals. And they wanted you to be able to gilt by the time they rolled around that almost guaranteed gilted medal that was coming out. Before KH2 Illustrated KH2 Kari came out with orbs for 5 pulls, they didn't want a bunch of new players rocking up and being like, oh, what do you mean I didn't get a guild bonus from guilting this medal? But I combined them, I combined 2 3.1s together. What do you mean I didn't get a guilt roll on it? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is there is a precedent for completing other awards outside of guilting medals to get rewards. I want to preface this by saying I completely believe it's going to be gilted medal will be 2 conditions, and most likely gilted medal will be the 3rd condition. That's just how this company rolls. But I'm saying there is a precedent for rewards coming from story completion. The reason I think this is because that May 30th date is really strange, right? From my knowledge, banners only ever come out on a Monday or a Friday, with some deviations from that. But having a major banner coming out on a Tuesday, which is May 30th, seems a little bit weird to me. Seems a little bit weird. June 2nd makes sense because it's a Friday, so I could see a banner coming out on a Friday. I could definitely see that. In fact, I kind of think it might be 0.2 Mickey coming out on a Friday. Could be completely wrong, who knows. Ugh. But that May 30th one's got me weird. And it's got me thinking that, what if they do like an event medal and they say, okay, we're going to do a new event now, which could be like, we're way overdue for Sora and Riku KH 3D version, for example. Like the speed version of Hurricane Phil and Maleficent Beat. We're like way overdue for that medal. So what if they drop that medal and they say, okay, if you gilt this event medal, actually getting the player base to all be at a consistent level of power, they go, okay, everyone who's playing the game right now, we want you to gilt this event medal that we're giving out for free, because lots of people don't gilt the event medals because they just either don't realize that you should, or they don't know how important it is to do so, and they miss out, and then they're like, oh, everyone got this powerful medal, I can't get it anymore, I'm not playing the game anymore, screw this game, it's too hard. So what if they're like, okay, we really, really want you to gilt this medal, here's an incentive to do that. If you do that, then you'll get this medal here. A lot of you guys are going, that's ridiculous, that's completely insane, you're talking absolute bollocks. Okay, I probably am, and again, like I said, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just going to be gilted medal, gilted medal, gilted medal, and then we'll give you a bonus every time. But what if you got one for free, right? What if you're a player that does all the events and is going to gilt the new event medal that comes out? Again, I'm talking extreme hypotheticals right now. What if you gilt this event medal and they go, cool, here you go, here's 1 copy of it. Okay? Then you're like, oh, okay, well I have this thing now. Could I gilt it? What would I have to do to gilt it? Let's say there's 2 other banners running at the same time, right? And you go, oh, okay, so if I gilt the medals on those banners, then I'll get another one of these things. And I go, that'll put me pretty close to gilting it. So let's say you do a couple pulls on the Aqua banner, and you go, ah, I actually got 1 Aqua. Well, now I only need 1 more, and I can be really, really close to gilting this 0.2 TNV medal. And then you do a couple more pulls, and you go, oh, I got it, cool. Well, now I can either spend a Mickey and Broom on gilting this thing, or I can try pulling off the Mickey banner and trying to guilt it that way. And so it's like this cascading effect of getting into people's heads and trying to make them pull. It's like I can, again, extremely unlikely, but I can sort of see that happening. I can sort of see that happening. And again, it's not like this medal is amazing, you know? Everyone that has this will only have a slightly better version of Aladdin and Naboo. So it's not like they're giving away this tremendous amount of power. It's the same medal, just with a lower gauge cost, and it'll do a slightly higher damage, right? But again, if it's not guilted, then you'll hardly notice the damage difference anyway. So, you see what I'm saying? Am I making any sense, or am I just sounding like a lunatic, talking absolute bollocks? Anyway, I probably am, but at some point they have to give us some power, right? At some point they have to give us some sort of power in this game. Anyway, 1 second guys, I've got one more thing to say. This is actually my second time recording this video, because when I recorded it the first time, the video file just popped out of existence the second I was done, so it's a little bit weird. So I'm trying to think of what stuff that I've already said, and it's like, did I say it this time, or did I say it the previous time? I can't remember. But one thing I did say was, yeah, there is no reason not to hold your jewels, basically. Like I said before, did I say it before? If you think of like a graph of goodness in terms of like how good a banner is, if people were to be like, okay, in general, every banner over time gets better than the one before. You know, we started out with, you know, tier 2s with the hotness, and then tier 3s, and then tier 4s, and now tier 5s, and JP has tier 6. So, if they're going to keep putting out more and more difficult content, they have to let us keep up with power over time, right? There's no reason to immediately rush out and do a pull from this banner, or any banner for that matter, because at some point you have to pull, but there's always going to be a better banner around the corner. Always. There has to be for this game to keep running. So, this banner in particular, I really advise waiting on it, because we don't have a high score challenge yet, we don't know what those other conditions are yet. If you really want 0.2 Terra and Ven, we still don't even know what the other conditions are. It could be easier to do another condition than to do this one. We could get another falling price deal, which those deals are fantastic. They are really good. And like I said, a couple weeks from now we could even have orbs in our pools again. So yeah, I would definitely not rush out and do a pull from this banner unless you absolutely desperately need HD Aqua. I think the rates for this one, just based off a couple pulls that I've seen, look better than the HD Nominee banner from a while ago, but who knows, we'll have to wait for more concrete data from that. But anyway, there's no high score challenge out at the moment, there's the very strong hints that more banners will be coming soon, so definitely don't rush out and do heaps of pulls from this one. Again, it's probably it is worse than the falling price deal that we just had, but it's a good sign that things will eventually get better. I had a really good point before about, basically, if they want to keep putting out strong content in this game, they have to at some point let us guilt premiums, because in JP, guilted premiums are pretty much a standard. Like, everyone's running around with guilted premiums, right? And that means that they're able to pass the content. Here, we're kind of lucky if we can guilt a premium, right? If you got quite lucky off one of the banners and you pulled yourself a 3-orbed version of the banner medal, it was then your choice to go, okay, do I either try and get a new one of these later on and guilt it, or do I blow my Mickey and brooms? And I'm sure some of you guys saw that I made a choice. I swear to God, I'll find a reason to put that video up soon. I want to do it, but we need to have more, to be honest. I'm not in a greedy way, I'm just saying, as the content gets stronger and stronger, like those Proud Plus quests, what have you, we will have to eventually get more guilted premiums. So they're being slow rolled out at the moment, but eventually we're going to have multiple orbs on multiple premiums per pull. If a falling price deal like that comes out again, where there are multiple premiums with multiple orbs, and it gets cheaper and cheaper each time, that could be the ultimate trap. If 0.2 Kari isn't out by that point, and they're like, okay, we all know she's like 1 or 2 weeks away, and then they drop one of those banners, like a falling price with lots of orbs going around, oh boy, that could be a really tempting time to spend all of your jewels. And yeah, but they have to make money, right? The guys in this everyone making this game has to make money, right? So the strategy in their head to make us spend money, right? So they have to give us this really strong bait, because they know we're all watching the JP version, wondering what it's doing over there. Anyway, I made the point better in the first time, to be quite honest, but before I go crazy with talking and rambling, I'll leave it with you there, guys. I want to thank you very much again for watching this video, if you did, checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. Again, the Discord link will be in the description. Come and hang out, it's really good fun over there. Really solid community. Really happy with everyone that participates in the discussion over there. It's really cool, so I want to thank you guys for that. Apart from that, all the best, guys. I will catch you next time. Alright, all the best. Bye.